Let's get some reaction now from retired Lieutenant General Keith Kellogg. Great to see you, sir. You know, each day that passes as we continue to follow this story, it seems the stakes continue to get higher and higher. You know, Russia now says that it's reviewing its options, but within Ukraine, preparation of bomb shelters, for example. Your thoughts on how this is going to play out?
Hi, Jackie. Thanks for having me. Probably not well. Look, the response from the United States that was delivered by Ambassador Sullivan yesterday in Moscow to the Minister of Foreign Affairs did not satisfy any of the Russian demands, especially when it came to Ukraine joining NATO. I think Putin's got three options. The first option he's got is to do nothing, and I don't think that's really a good option, but it's out there. The second is to continue negotiations. He's going to talk a little bit more with some of the Europeans this coming week, but they've been talking for the last 6 years, and nothing's come out of that. And the last one is a limited incursion or invasion of Ukraine. I think that's one that has a high probability of going forward. Look, Jennifer made a comment, and it probably doesn't mean much to a lot of people, but when she made the comment about S-35s flying across Russia to Belarus and to the area just north of Ukraine, that's a significant move because that's their most advanced fighter. And when you look at the forces that Putin has arrayed all around Ukraine right now, it's all of their top flight units, and they're all ready to go. And they're predominantly formed around the Donbass region, the eastern part of Ukraine. That's the theory he's really concerned about. And I don't think Putin is going to have a major invasion of all of Ukraine because he doesn't really have the troops to do it. But I think he's going to take potentially a huge hunk out of Ukraine on the eastern part. And especially if you want to look at a map, if people would just pull up one, there's a river called the Dnieper River, and that is a great demarcation line between the eastern part of Ukraine and the rest of Ukraine. And to the east of the Dnieper River it's almost purely Russian-speaking area.
Right.
This is an area that he wants because if he takes that part, it gives him security. And that's what Putin's been pushing on all along. He wants security for Mother Russia.
I know that you are not inside the president's head or the administration, but he sort of set it up in his press conference when he said, you know, sort of made this distinction between a minor incursion and what a larger incursion, you know, might be. So the scenario that you set out there, how do you think the United States would interpret that?
Well, if they did that, I think they'd put that in the realm of minor incursion. To me, it's not a minor incursion.
Right.
But I think that's how the United States would finesse it, because the United States understands that Ukraine is not a NATO ally. Article 5 does not apply to Ukraine. An attack on one is an attack on all. And then you look at a little bit of the fragmentation of the NATO alliance. Look, we can see that Britain is sending anti-tank missiles into Ukraine, and the Germans just sent 5,000 helmets. Well, that kind of shows a disparity of who's considered important and what's considered important when it comes to Ukraine. And I think that if it's Ukraine is not in our vital national interest. And I'm very concerned that we keep focusing in on Russia, and the Ukraine when we keep bypassing the importance of China. China is the growing threat. China will become the greatest threat the United States is going to face in the next 20 or 30 years. And we should remember that. Look, when it comes right down to it, to me, Russia is Belgium with nuclear weapons.
Yeah.
That's the most important thing they have is the nukes, but they're not an existential threat when it comes to Europe, because they're not going to go after Europe.
And many wondering, as you point out, if China will act on Taiwan in some way as they're watching this play out, because, you know, the more chaos across the globe, the easier it might be for them. And then you've got the Olympics, too. So we have a lot to keep our eyes on, and we certainly will come back to you, sir, to get your insight on it. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Jackie.
Good to see you.